everyone, I'm Kelly Palmatier, a psychic medium who's channeling white light towards a better world. This is the first ever episode of the Channeling White Light show, so you can expect lots of mistakes, flops and retakes. Stop, what a flake! Are you interested in psychic energy and mediums, ghosts and spirits, angels and miracles? I aim to include a little of all of that in this show, and when no one is looking, I may just include a little inspiration to help make the world a better place. In this episode, I interview Eric Bradford of Asheville Greenworks, and I've got lots of other cool content coming up, including divine development, questions and answers, psychic story time, and more. So let's jump in. In this segment, I'm going to offer a few small thoughts regarding current events that might interest a medium or the world at large. Let's start with spiritual news. Well, in the world of psychic mediums, the biggest news at the moment is the launch of the Channeling White Light show. Duh! I'm launching this show on the full moon of September 2nd, 2020, which is a harvest moon, so I would like to wish you all a bountiful harvest, both literally and figuratively. But if you're watching this, I hope that the launch of my show is pretty self-evident, so let's move on. Although I'm not involved in this event, I would like to announce that on Saturday and Sunday, October 3rd and 4th, there will be the Rhoda Psychic and Healing Arts Expo taking place in Flat Rock, North Carolina at the Blue Ridge Community College. There will be 70 vendors, readers, and healers. All reading and healing sessions are only $20 each. You can read more about this event at rhodapsychicexpo.com. Another event that I'm cross-posting for others is a Mediumship Expo with celebrity medium Thomas John and 6 other excellent mediums. This is an online event taking place on September 20th from 11 a.m. to 6:45 p.m. The cost is only $55, and you'll get to experience readings, a mediumistic experience with your own loved ones, and connect with like-minded people regarding mediumship. You can read more about this and purchase tickets online at mediumthomas.com. Now, regarding commentary, did I mention that I'm filming this in the year 2020? Was there ever a year that warranted more commentary than this one? In modern history, I don't think so. We have experienced Armageddon-like wildfires, intense political and cultural divides, extreme racial tensions, worldwide peaceful protests along with some riots and increases in violence, and more. Plus, from my readings with my own clients, I'm understanding that so many individuals are also experiencing personal hardships, such as debilitating injuries and illnesses, deaths, breakups, financial hardships, mental health challenges, and more. So what can I possibly say that's uplifting during such a troubling year? Well, it's all in the name, 2020. We associate 2020 with perfect vision. There's also the expression that hindsight is 2020. During a time when most of us have been sheltering at home and we've experienced shortages in cleaning supplies, toilet paper, and more, it's a perfect time to focus on the difference between our wants and our needs. It's an optimal time to release things that no longer serve us. It's time to focus on what truly matters. Although it may feel like it, this is not the end of the world. So take a deep breath. Now, let's appreciate this year of spring cleaning and gaining clarity on what truly matters. Soon enough, the year 2020 will be in our hindsight.
On 8/11, we decided to do a mediumship reading with Kelly, and there was 15 of us, which is a large group, and Kelly was a little bit scared at first, but then, she of course did it with us. And she got a couple people in the beginning, and then my dad, who just recently passed a month on the date, she got some things about him, his personality, things like that, how he passed away, what he went through and everything. And then
Marge. In the very beginning, she mentioned the word Marge, M-A-R-G, which is our Aunt Margie. And she also clarified that Margie had dementia.
but she was still alive. So we didn't understand that how she was still alive, how that would work out.
And she also mentioned that Margie's spirit was with the same people that we met during that time, with the interview we had with her, and we couldn't understand why. And so 2 days ago, that was 2 days ago,
Yeah.
This morning at 8:30, my Aunt Margie passed away. So then we realized that Kelly was 100% truthful and to the fact, and we knew then that Margie's soul was with all my family.
Yeah.
And it made us feel so much better that we had this interview with Kelly.
Because she explained it really well, that even though she had dementia, she didn't feel trapped in her body. And like, she described her personality and everything. And pretty much she took us through, like, you know, and then it made us feel better because when she passed this morning, we were like, at least we know she wasn't trapped in her body for that long, and that she was like, you know, she moved freely.
Right after we had a little meeting with you, it hit me then that I almost knew Margie didn't have much time with us. So I pretty much started preparing the family to get ready. We just didn't know it was going to be this quick. So we're happy to know that she's with her sister, her mother, her father. We don't have any words because we know that's where she's at now because we talked to you.
Yeah.
Everything you told us was 100% true. Everything from the time you started till the time you end in the session. Everything is
And it was
true.
our very first time, and it was probably like the best. Like, that's probably like never, you know what I'm saying? Like that, I wouldn't expect it to be that good. When we went into it, like, I believed in it, but I feel like you don't believe in it until you experience it yourself. And when we experienced it, and you just were like naming off things that no, you can't just guess, or you can't just look us up and figure it out. And you hit it on the nail, because it was amazing.
And we have gave several family members your website.
Okay, for the interview and inspiration section of the show, I'm here with Eric Bradford of Asheville Greenworks. Eric, welcome.
Good morning, Kelly. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So tell me a little bit about Asheville Greenworks.
So Asheville Greenworks is an environmental organization located in Asheville, North Carolina. We've been around since 1973, and we work on projects ranging from urban forestry, waste reduction, to water quality.
Okay, so you're tree-hugging lunatics?
We are tree-lugging.
So sometimes you lug them too, huh?
Yeah, we do lug them around a little bit, but we do love to hug them as well.
Excellent. Okay, well, I'm so glad to have you here in beautiful Asheville. So how long have you been with the organization?
I've been with Asheville Greenworks for 10 years, but I grew up in Asheville, and I grew up with this organization volunteering with it.
Nice. So I understand you guys have a lot of volunteers.
We do. We're very fortunate. So we're Western North Carolina's most active and oldest environmental organization. So we're very fortunate to have so many people that believe in the work.
That is a lot to say, especially in such a hippie town.
Well, it really is.
So what are the main things that you guys get involved in?
So locally, we work in the urban aspect of environmentalism. So, you look around you here at the botanical gardens, and this area is plopped right in the middle of the urban scape. We've got buildings not a mile from here. We've got a lot of roads and infrastructure. Mm-hmm. We want our urban environment to be just as nice as the national forest. So this is where we spend 99% of our time as humans. So if we can make the urban environment that nice, that pristine, it's going to be so much healthier for everyone. So you're going to find us in your urban creeks working. You're going to see us trying to develop pocket parks, working on urban forestry in the downtown areas, trying to keep it cool, trying to stabilize the climate for where we have to spend most of our time.
That's excellent. All right, now, You know, some people would say that the economy is more important than the environment. And by golly, I like hot weather. What do you say to these people?
Yeah, so the economy is very important. We are in a democratic capitalist culture. It is important, but we cannot look at the environment as being separate from that. You know, it is a part of us, we're a part of it, and there's quite a lot of incentives to do the right thing. It makes financial sense. So trees, for instance, do more than just shade and look beautiful. You know, they actually stabilize the environment around them and their climate through a process of evapotranspiration. So they can actually mitigate the climate in your particular area. And warm weather does seem attractive sometimes, but the problem is we can have really big swings. So when you say for trees, for instance, you remove all the trees from an area that has historically been there, what will happen is you will have a much harsher summer and a much harsher winter because those trees are no longer there to mitigate that change. So a lot of times the reason you came to that area all of a sudden sort of diminished. It's too hot here now in the summer and it's too cold here in the winter. So we have to do a little bit of both, and we have to plan for tomorrow.
And so what are the types of things that you guys do to help make a difference?
Certainly. So on the urban forestry side, this is something we've been working on since very early on in our organization. Like most other cities in the 1970s in the South, Asheville saw a depression. So not a whole lot went on downtown. They saw a lot of people leaving the downtown area during after business hours, so there wasn't much going on, boarded up buildings. So our organization in '73 started planting trees, trying to green up the downtown, trying to get people to come back to their downtown area, which was at the time one of the hotter areas in the area. So we tried to start there and work out, try to fix the streams in the area around it, try to work on any sort of ordinances that would improve the life. And good news, it has. It's done such a wonderful job. Can you even imagine downtown Asheville today without all the trees?
No, I can't.
So one of the things we do to try to get there is we spend a lot of time giving away trees, planting trees, educating folks about trees and how important they are to their, not only to just their health, but just to their pocketbook as well too. We try to have conversations with developers a lot of times about the intrinsic value of the tree. You know, yes, it does have a dollar value, absolutely. But what about the curb appeal of a well-forested lot for where your business is? Where do you, when you drive into a hot parking lot, try to go? You try to find a tree to park under. So it's really simple things. So we do a lot of those activities. We also work a lot, you know, here we are next to this beautiful stream next to Reed Creek here, and we spend a lot of time trying to work in these very urban streams to clean them up and return their ecology. There's about 400 streams just in Buncombe County. And all of those obviously feed into the French Broad River, which is the region's third oldest river. And we want to try to maintain these areas and clean them up so that we can recreate in them, so that we can enjoy them, so that the flora and fauna can grow. So you'll see a lot of anti-trash initiatives, runoff. We're looking for point source pollution, things like oil spills, things along those lines to try to improve ecology. And then finally we work on waste reduction. And waste reduction has just, it came because no one else was really pushing it at the time, and I'm talking about not sending things to the landfill. What else can we do with this item? Can we recycle it? Can we reuse it? Do we need it to begin with? So we also run something called the Plastic Reduction Task Force, where we try to get people to look about how much single-use plastic that they're consuming and what does that single-use plastic do to the environment. So any of those sort of things we can do through education and outreach, working with folks and giving them the tools to empower them to make the right decision.
So what are some of these right decisions? Like when it comes to plastic reduction, for example, what are there alternatives that people should know about?
Absolutely. So this is the wonderful thing about our economy. There's so many people out there who are working so hard to find an alternative to an item, say straws, for instance. It's really easy to go online, and after a few minutes of searching, you can find probably a local person, a local crafter or artist who is producing something that you can use that can be reused many, many times, and then at the end of its life can be recycled. So these straws, cups, containers, to-go containers, all of these sort of small items that add up really quickly and cannot be recycled usually are the ones that go to the landfill. So we're asking folks to look at them a different way. Go to your favorite restaurant, say to the owner of the restaurant, I will pay more if you will offer an alternative item, something that's compostable or something that can be 100% recycled. If you say these things to the business owner, that means we're in this together versus I want you to make a change and not me.
Yeah.
We're also asking folks to think about just consumption altogether. Do I really need this? We have a program called pre-cycling. This is when you go grocery shopping, like all of us do, and you look through the items and you say to yourself, this item here is in a plastic container, probably not recyclable, but the one next to it is in a glass container with a metal top. It's going to be recyclable. It's a little bit more expensive, but I know what's going to happen to this product at the end of the day. So it's about making choices.
Excellent. Good. And so, what are the main things that you need from the community to support your organization?
So we're so fortunate, like you mentioned before, about having this groundswell of people who said, this is our community, and we're going to take it back, and we're going to maintain our ecology the way that we see fit. So having that huge amount of volunteers is absolutely critical to the organization. We manage 2 different nurseries for growing trees. We have projects all over the county, like our trash trout project, which is it's a series of devices that sit in waterways and capture trash every time it rains. We need all these things maintained. We have 25 miles of river that runs through Asheville that needs to be maintained. We have a fleet of boats that we send people out in to take care of it. So we're always looking for volunteers, and obviously being a nonprofit, we do not have a retail item that we sell. So we do need donations, so we do ask for folks to consider that. Do they want to be a part of this and become a member of the organization to see your money working locally? So we do ask for those 2 things. We also ask for folks to just keep their eye out for new ideas. This is where, we've been around since '73, but, we need new ideas all the time as well too. So do send them in to us. Let us know what you're thinking about. So yeah, we need those things.
So what does it look like for someone to become a member?
So becoming a member of Asheville Greenworks, we try to make it as easy as possible. You can go right to our website, which is ashevillegreenworks.org, and right on the front page you can just click on the button and securely become a member right away. And then you can say what you want your funds to go to. So if you're very concerned about the water ecology in the area, you can send your funds directly toward that. Or if you want to send your funds to make sure there's more trees planted and trees maintained in the area, you can do that as well too. We try to keep it where our members can have a voice.
Are there certain membership levels, like for certain amounts? Or
We do have membership levels, but we also leave it completely open to you as well too. And we have also a sustainer level. We have return membership where you can just put in a credit card number and take out a very small amount every month that you're comfortable with. We have as many different ways to donate to you as you would like.
So if I wanted to give just like $5 a month, hassle-free.
Absolutely. We use a service called Network for Good that does exactly that. It takes it securely, only takes out as much as you ask, and you can stop it at any time.
Very good. So I understand you guys have a lot of volunteers, and one of the incentives that I like to give for people whom I'm interviewing is to donate a free gift certificate for a psychic reading or a mediumship reading. And I'd like for you to be able to give this to one of your top volunteers.
Oh, that'd be great.
So I understand you brought some names, and I brought my funky little vintage hat.
I love this little hat here. This is great. So thank you for this opportunity. This is great. This is, there's so many wonderful people working with the organization that what I did was I just took a snippet of just a few people that were working with us last week, and have those names here in the hat. And do you want me to hand it over to you to take it out, or you want me to get that?
I'm going to let you do a drawing.
Sure. We're going to keep this
COVID
fair.
safe
I
and
promise
everything.
you, I don't know. It's just, I don't know which ones are which. This is going to be really
20 pieces of paper with all the same name on it.
Not at all. Maybe. Oh my goodness, Jeff Raskin. Oh my gosh, Jeff Raskin. He's one of our tree keepers. He takes care of our one of our nurseries, and he's just a wonderful person. Congratulations, Jeff. That's great.
Well, thank you so much for being with me here today, Eric. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Well, I'd like to thank you for putting this together. I think this is wonderful. There's so many of us working. Every one of us is trying to do something positive, and we can't stop there. We can't say, oh, I'm the only one. There's so many of us that are working so hard, and especially now when we feel maybe lost. And what you do is you just look for the doers, the people who are helping, and then to me that fills my tank, and you filled my tank today, Kelly. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, it's such a pleasure.
Promise you, there's other names. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Kelly, and I'm a perfectionist. It's been 20 minutes since I was too hard on myself. I know. Next time I need to go to Goofballs Anonymous, right? But it's true, I am a perfectionist. I am definitely a type A personality, someone who's trying very hard to relax. But I do laugh at myself as a perfectionist because I've chosen a career that I can't control. As a psychic medium, I want every moment of every reading to be spectacular, and yet I'm at the mercy of the natural ebb and flow of energy. Even if I make an intense effort to be open and in tune, I may be dealing with a client who's closed off or a spirit who's shy or quiet. And that's why I've chosen for this motivational moment, #avoid perfection. Instead, let's go with #embrace greatness. Take a look at these two images. On the left is the original image of a beautiful flower. But what's this? That flower's stem isn't straight, its petals aren't symmetrical, and that background can't decide what color it wants to be. On the right, all of those imperfections are taken care of, right? Yeah. This really illustrates that we need imperfection in our lives. It's part of the beauty of nature, and it's part of what makes real life fascinating and amazing. So go ahead and follow your dreams now, today. Don't wait until you're 110% ready and all the circumstances are perfect. One of my favorite quotes is by writer Marcy McKay. She said, "Striving for excellence feels wonderful because you're trying your very best. Perfectionism feels terrible because your work is somehow never quite good enough." You can do it. You've got this. You've got an amazing spirit and an abundance of passion. So don't worry if things aren't exactly perfect. Embrace your greatness and go out there and take on your dreams. It took her 22 takes to get that scene right. Was there a dog that was kind of lanky? It feels like the energy of an old hound dog, but it doesn't. I'm not quite sure if it's a hound dog. It feels like it might be something different than that. I want to say Bo. Is there somebody named Bo or something similar?
My first dog was named Bobo. German Shepherd.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh.
She wants to say thank you so much for everything you guys did for her. You know, she talks about how she could count on you. You know, she could have the sneezes or the sniffles, and she could blow her nose. She'd be like, "Oh, my nose is raw," and you'd be like, "Oh, I'll go get some softer tissues."
Yep. She complained about the tissues and I got her better tissues. Oh, that sounds about right. Oh, I remember that. I do remember that now. Mm-hmm.
What is it that you remember?
Her telling she had the sniffles last fall and she complained about the tissues and I got her different tissues.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Excuse me for saying that, but
Yeah, okay.
I literally just described that she had the sniffles and you went out and got it. Wow. Good job, Mom. Man, she's rocking this today. says, I'm sorry I can't watch over you in the physical, but he says I'm actually going to be able to do a slightly better job watching over you from spirit.
Yeah.
But he does say, now watch out for those boys.
You can always say that. You said, when you bring them on the front porch, I'm going to grab my gun.
Yep, my shotgun. I see him like with the shotgun image, the shotgun father.
Yeah. A couple other people want to ask, is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ask him, who do he want to take care of his daughter?
All right, one moment.
Okay.
All right. So I'm getting a couple of things. One is, you know that expression, it takes a village?
Yeah.
All right. So it feels like he does want everyone to kind of watch out for her. Now, but also, is there somebody, a feminine energy, somebody with a name like Carol Ann?
She's the mama. She's the mama of the group. She's the one who takes care of everybody. Yeah.
All right. All right. So nobody's surprised that he says Carol Ann?
No.
Wonderful. So Ricky wants to say, thank you so much, Carol Ann, for watching over my baby. And then he wants to say, but she's not going to be the one with the shotgun. We need somebody else in for the boys. Who's into horses?
Oh God. My dad was a horse trainer, and his dad, who passed, owned a horse farm. And then my dad's mom, who is living, talks to me about going back to horse shows.
Wow. Horses are all over your family.
Just on my dad's side.
Right. That's great, Dad. That's awesome. That's a good one. Good job. Now, I am getting a reference to the importance of a vehicle for him.
He had a car. He had a car that he just had bought.
Oh, he just bought a car. Okay. He really liked that car.
He really loved that car.
Yeah. He was proud of that.
He loved it. He loved that car. He was so proud of that car.
Yeah. He's like, well, you know, if I had to go, do it in my car.
Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yep. I feel like there's something dangling. I don't know if this is dangling from the rearview mirror or from his keys.
Me and my mom were actually talking about it last night. Yeah, he had all kind of little dangle things. He liked to hang stuff. I actually have a cross of his that I have on me right now, actually. That was his.
Perfect. Well, perfect then. You know, as long as that makes sense to you, and you were just talking about it, so that sounds like it's very validating. Nice. Good. And then I also saw a bandana.
Pink bandana. I keep it around my rearview mirror. He loved his bandanas.
And so, remember earlier when I was talking about something dangling from the rearview mirror?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. He says, I love you, Mama.
I love you, Sean. I love you and I miss you more.
He says he wanted to bring up these things so that you would know without a shadow of a doubt that it was really him.
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah. development segment of each show, I'm going to spend just a few moments going over some helpful tips and tricks for people who may be interested in enhancing their own intuitive abilities. Today I'm going to talk about the term clairfusion. That's when people are confused about all the various psychic terms such as clairvoyance, clairaudience, etc. By the way, I totally just made that word up. But seriously, the clairs, or different terms for psychic development skills, are gone over in all of the basic rudimentary psychic development courses. So why would I want to talk about those today? Well, two reasons. One is it's certainly possible that you haven't taken a psychic development course before. And two, I'd like to clarify some of the confusion around these terms. I'll start with ESP. No, it does not stand for extremely sensitive person, although it could. It actually stands for extrasensory perception. That's when somebody picks up on information, perceives, perception, outside of the five physical senses, extrasensory. So ESP is really a good, ideal blanket term that encompasses all psychic phenomena. Clairvoyance is the most well-known of all the clairs, and it refers to psychic seeing, regardless of whether or not you are seeing energy physically with the eyes or you're seeing information in the mind's eye. Now, there is some confusion around this particular term because a lot of people, including some professional psychics, actually use the term clairvoyance as an umbrella term referring to all the clairs. And I've also even heard people talk about clairvoyance when they are referring to being able to see things into the future, whereas I prefer the term precognition for seeing into the future, or when you're getting insight into something in the past, that would be postcognition. Basically, if we look at the origin of the word, then we know that clair refers to clear, such as clarity, and we know that voyance refers to seeing, such as voyeur. So I'm a bit of a purist. When using these terms, I like to look at the word's roots, the origins, the etymology. Not to be confused with entomology, the study of insects. Clairaudience refers to psychic hearing. Now I think you've heard enough about that. Clairsentience refers to feeling the energy. Just as a sentient creature can feel things both physically and emotionally, clairsentience can refer to the physical feeling of the energy, and it can also refer to picking up on the emotions of others, which is referred to as empathy. So if someone says they are an empath, it just means that they can pick up on the feelings of others. Clairtangency is also sometimes referred to when picking up on the feeling of energy, although this term is often used in conjunction with the term psychometry, which is when you can pick up on the energy of an object simply by holding it. Clairalience is psychic smelling. Now in the past, this hasn't been one of my stronger abilities, but I have had a few interesting moments with it. For example, there was a time when I picked up on the beautiful pine scent of Christmas trees when I was connecting with my clients' special Christmas memories. Another time, during a mediumship reading, I suddenly smelled a horrible body odor. And I thought to myself, can you even have BO if you don't have a B? Well, apparently you can, because this spirit really reeked. And apparently it can be very validating, because my client had really been into her deceased boyfriend's aroma. By the way, clairscent or clairsentency is also sometimes used as a synonym for clairaudience, although that's much less common. Clairgustance, clairgoustiance, or clairhambiance all refer to clear tasting. Although not referring to the five physical senses, claircognizance is one of the psychic clairs. Claircognizance refers to clear knowing. I'm pretty strong with the psychic skill of claircognizance, so sometimes I just know things. Are there lots of other psychic terms I could explain here today? Absolutely. Would I lose most of my audience if I did? My claircognizance says absolutely. This is the section of the show that I'm calling Stuff I Love. No, this is not my gratitude list. That could be an entire show in and of itself. Rather, here I wanted to be able to talk about products, services, movies, books, things that I've really enjoyed that I think you might enjoy too. So today I want to talk about a particular book called You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. I actually first heard about this book when I was watching another YouTube show. This was one by Catherine Manning. She has a great show that's all about growing your YouTube presence. So when Catherine talked about this particular book, she spoke about it with such enthusiasm that I was like, oh my goodness, I've got to get it right now. So I did get the book, and it's part self-help, part law of attraction. Honestly, it's a lot of information that I was already familiar with, but the author, Jen Sincero, really puts it together in a way that is compelling. It's not a long book. It is very fast-paced. It includes a lot of humor, and it's just really inspiring. I actually purchased it as an audiobook because I like to listen to books while I'm driving or doing other things around the house. And as soon as I finished the book the first time, within the hour, I'd already started listening to it a second time because I find the information is just so inspiring that it's the type of thing I want to really internalize. So there you have it. I definitely recommend the book, You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. I recommend you immediately pick up a copy from your favorite local bookseller. Or if you prefer to buy it online, I did go ahead and set up an Amazon affiliate link, so I might get something like 10 cents if you click on that. Either way, I hope you enjoy it. For today's question and answer segment, I'm going to answer the question, how do I know if I'm psychic? Well, I believe that everybody has some natural ability, some natural psychic ability, because when you think about it, everybody has some level of intuition, right? And intuition is the basic building block of psychic ability. I also think that it's possible to have some ability, but then maybe you are afraid, maybe you think it's not normal, maybe you shut it down. I think a lot of people have had that experience. I know when I was a kid, one of my earliest psychic experiences was when my older sister Lee, who's now in spirit, love you Lee, she was doing a card trick for me, a little magic trick. Pick a card, any card, and I'll tell you what you picked. So I picked a card and she made a great show of concentrating before proclaiming what I had selected. And I was just amazed. Oh, let me try, let me try. She humored me and let me try to do the trick on her, and then of course I nailed it. Well, she immediately freaked out. Oh my God, how did you do that? And that's when I realized that it wasn't, quote, normal. So, I shut myself down. I couldn't immediately duplicate it. It wasn't until years later that I really started deciding that I wanted to open myself up to my gifts, and then I started working to actively develop it. I do believe that anybody who's interested can actively develop it. Yes, some people may have a stronger natural proclivity for it than others, but I do believe that everybody can tune in to their gifts. So, are you psychic? Yes, you are. I have really enjoyed working on this show, but even when I'm totally immersed in a project, I still have to eat. It's so frustrating. And eating requires an income. So I'm going to take a brief moment to thank my sponsor. Since this is the first episode of the Channeling White Light show, my sponsor is someone very close to me. Griffin Web Design and Marketing is actually a company that I founded and ran for close to 20 years before moving on to become a full-time professional psychic medium. While I don't work in the company anymore, I'm so fortunate that our fabulous team does a great job keeping things going. In particular, today I'm here with the managing director of our company, the amazing Jennifer Custro.
Thank you.
Jennifer, you've got 60 seconds to tell the world why Griffin Web Design and Marketing is the best custom web design firm on the planet. And by the way, make it funny, okay?
Okay, no pressure. Talk about Griffin Web Design and do it in 60 seconds and be funny. I got this. At Griffin Web Design and Marketing, we create beautiful, one-of-a-kind custom websites with SEO built right into the code. We offer full web development services as well as social media management, SEO services, brand development, custom programming, e-commerce, and so much more. We've been in business more than 20 years, so we've learned a thing or 10. We've created tons of websites for businesses large and small, government agencies, nonprofit organizations, and hey, nonprofits. We love you guys, and we offer 10% off all homepage designs for nonprofits as a way of saying thank you for your work. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and we believe so strongly in transparency that all of our prices and policies are right on our website. Easy to find and easy to read. And I forgot to be funny. Okay. Here's a joke. Why did the web developer stay home from work?
I don't know why.
She had a code.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Hire Griffin Web Design and Marketing for the web design and marketing and not for the comedian. If you'd like a free quote, please call 1-877-WEB-0050. That's 877-932-0050. Or visit the website griffinwebdesign.com. That's Griffin, Griffin, webdesign.com. And if you have an ethical product or service and you'd like to sponsor the Channeling White Light show, please reach out to me on my website, which is channelingwhitelight.com.
So that's my show. What do you think? If you like it, please go ahead and click that lick button. No. There's a pandemic going on. No licking. You know what I mean. Like it. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe and click on the little bell icon so you'll be notified when new episodes come out. Or you could just check back on the next full moon. These steps cost you nothing, but they do really help me out. And if you have any suggestions or feedback for me, please leave it in the comment section below. If you'd like to book a reading or connect with me directly, please visit my website, which is channelingwhitelight.com. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you next time.